concurrent viewers. That one are bent forward or bent backwards?
Well, we're live.
All right. Are we in?
Yeah.
We are.
Hello.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to What the Fact podcast. Yeah, intro music, water sounds.
Yes.
Maybe we should get a guitar sound.
Something
Yeah,
that
probably wouldn't be the worst idea.
couldn't be terrible. Yeah. So, what's happening, everybody?
Yeah, who do we have in there? We got Eric, we got Dastardly Dave, got my mom.
Carl is here.
So hey to the first group of people that...
So everybody say hello to yourselves, amongst yourselves.
Hello.
Oh, yeah. I gotta get closer, yeah. I'm sitting way back here. I'm like way
Well,
back
yeah, because
here.
that's as far as that one goes.
Yeah.
I could turn you up a little bit.
That's all right, because then there's going to be bleeding.
There's plenty of bleed. It's all good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It all runs. Okay, so starting out with this week, events, local
Yeah.
stuff.
I think three people in the shop are gonna. They have shows this weekend. I'm playing tomorrow night, Friday night at the Lion's Lair with SPL.
Nice.
A couple people from the F&Gs and the Flowbots.
Very cool.
Pretty cool.
What time is that?
The show starts at 10. I think I play at midnight or something. 1.
Are you doing a solo thing, or you're playing with?
No, I'm playing solo. It's the first Jacob and a Ghost show this year.
Nice.
Might be the only one. So if you want to catch me, this
could be the
If you
one
want
and
to catch
only.
me and the ghost, then...
Yep. And then you're playing Sunday?
Yeah, I'm playing Sunday down in Pueblo at the Pueblo Chili Festival. So if you're down in the area, we're going on at 3:30. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure what tent we're at.
That sounds delicious.
It's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, is
Already-
everything like chili? Everything chili, even when it shouldn't be?
Well,
Yeah,
there's
because like sometimes with bean festivals, that's how it goes. Like
it's chili
bean
infested,
sandwiches and bean
you know.
bread. And
Like sweet chili things.
Yeah. So last year, and this isn't like chili like ground beef in red sauce with beans chili or without beans if you're in Texas apparently. It's like green chilies. So you got your Hatch green chilies for those of you that have heard of that. If anybody's on the East Coast, it's probably not nearly as much of a thing. Or you have the Pueblos. So you got Hatch green chilies are one, then Pueblos are a whole nother one. And I don't know, now that I've tried the Pueblos, I'm like, I take the Pueblos over the Hatch.
But both are delicious.
But both are delicious. And basically what you do is you buy a bushel or two, which I'll get two. They throw it in this big, let's say,
roaster.
It's like a roaster. It's about the size of a 55-gallon drum, but all with holes. Then they fire up and they roast it. It is the best smell, though.
Oh, it's
Roasting
my
green
goodness.
chilies is the best. Oh, it's great. And
There-
where we played last year, the breeze kept wafting in underneath the tent, and it was just like, and I was starving because I usually don't like to play before, or I don't like to eat like close to a show. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So by the time we were done, and we played, I think like 2 hours straight, and by the time we were done with the show, I was starving.
pepper vapors got you.
Well, you couldn't help yourself.
Oh,
But
man. I remember a time when my dad bought a bunch of bushels of roasted chilies and left them in his car overnight. The car smelled
yeah.
like chilies for months.
which isn't a terrible thing.
It wasn't until it was, you know?
Oh yeah, well, that makes sense.
When you start tasting it in your dreams, that's when
Yeah. It gets to be a little much.
But yeah, they kind of throw everything into, they have like Italian sausage sandwiches with the green chilies,
That's one of
Oh,
my favorites.
interesting.
which is great. And ever since I had that last year, because of course that's what I had. Then when I make Italian sausage with peppers and onions, I take some of the green chili, or I take some of the Pueblos and put them in with that. It just adds this little extra bit. It doesn't make it anything different. It just adds this little extra, like bit of flavor to the, and it's like, yep, that's a combo that you can't deny.
Man, Italian sausage sandwiches with Pueblos, delicious.
Yeah, onions, Pueblos, and then just regular peppers.
Yum.
Oh, it's good. Yeah, that's how I make them now.
Wish I could have that for dinner.
Me too. I am all out of Pueblos though, because I made my last batch of pork green chili like a month ago. Because I'm like, all right, Chili Fest is out a month. Let me make a batch. So
Like at most, I'll only have to go a week without it.
Yeah. Well, I made, I make a big, I go do the thing. I get Anaheims, I get Poblanos, I get the Pueblos, and then so it's just basically a big pepper thing with the pork butt, cut all that up. So good.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the thing is, like, I don't know. It's delicious because it goes with eggs. You could eat it on its own. You could smother it over burritos, just like Eric was saying. So, yeah. So now I get 2 bushels and I'm good.
For the year.
For the year.
Nice.
Yeah. Usually there's a good rotation because you can't eat that shit all the time.
No. But you can eat it quite often.
Right. Well, the pork green chili. So I try to make sure that I have enough to do the pork green chili that lasts me through and then have it for like other dishes as well. But it's worth going down. It's nice. It's Pueblo's a cool city. So there's a bunch of different vendors and cool things you can check out. And then, like I said, we go on about 3:30. I don't know what tent we're on. I think we're playing for a couple hours till 5:30 or 5:30.
Who are you playing with?
I'm playing with Dan Trainer and Frankie DeGeorge.
So if people go down there, they can look up Dan Trainer.
Yeah, it'll probably be Dan Trainer and Frankie or something like that. I'm just kind of, I don't know who else is playing. Dan just called me, hey, you want to do the thing? I'm sure, let's go.
Well, and Dan's pretty well known. I mean, I'm sure everybody.
Well, he's from Pueblo.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. He's
played
known.
that.
Yeah.
He's basically played that festival, for 20 years or more. He's played every year, and Frankie's the same way. Frankie's known down there. That's, he's a local musician down there. So they, hey, you want to play? Yeah. Kind of gets a whole bunch of things done. I get chili. I get to play.
Community building.
Yeah, and a bunch of Dan's families down there. They're all nice people, and so it was pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah. And that's it.
Yeah, I think that's it. What is it? Salads and Sunbeams is Eric's band
Horseshoes and hand grenades.
that's playing?
Yeah, salads and sunbeams.
So that's,
soybeans and salad dressings.
That's will be at the Lost Lake on Friday. That's an earlier show, and then go right down the street to see me, Jacob and the Ghost, at the Lion's Lair.
Oh, you're playing Lion. Okay. Yeah.
And then when
Nightcap.
you need to recover on Saturday,
Then take a day and a half walk to Pueblo.
and then make
Yeah.
your way down to Pueblo. Yeah.
On Sunday. Yes.
And I wanted to throw a quick shout out to a show, the 3 bands that played a show this week that I worked. They were incredible. They're all Denver bands. Shadowwork, Barbara, and Rugburn. We are spoiled in this scene. If you live in Denver and you're not going out to see live music, you're doing yourself a disservice.
Yeah, we got good bands in this town.
Well, yeah, that's why when
I don't get it out enough.
Well, when customers say that certain forms of music are dead, I'm always like, that's a big indicator to me that you don't get out into your local. Because we have just about anything and everything of some form happening in Denver. It depends. I know that the jazz community can be very particular about the type and quality, but it's we have a lot of really talented people all throughout the city doing a bunch of different things. And so that's one of those things, if you don't go, or if you think that music is dead, you're not looking hard enough, especially for your local scene.
Oh, yeah.
We get it a lot from, people say that everywhere, but we get a lot of local customers that say that, and it always surprises me.
Those were 3 rock bands. They all played loud guitars, drummers bashing away, It was awesome. They were all three amazing. No AI.
No
Yes.
AI music.
Well, yeah, because I was telling Jacob earlier, like I think it was New York or one of the bigger subway systems in the States. They ended up adding digital buskers, and like it really bothered me.
What do you mean digital?
So they literally
What
put
is
up
that?
panels, like they put up visual panels, and then they put on more or less digital buskers.
Oh, fuck that.
Right. When there's real people that would do that stuff, it's like
They
I was-
literally do it for free.
Right, and I was telling him like, 'cause,
Right,
like to me the thing
there's
that
people,
bothers
real
me,
people out there playing.
right, the thing that bothers me the most about it is like that's basically telling them that we want everything about you except you. You know what I mean? Like we want all the things that you bring to the atmosphere, but we don't want you as a person here. That's what that comes across as. And
Right,
like, it's just
we
so
still want
shitty.
the music. We just don't want you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Yes.
Lovely.
In a city that is known for art,
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, literally.
boo.
Whole blocks. Yeah.
Nah, we don't want you here. That's terrible.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
but,
I never heard that. I'd have been pissed too.
But, was there a time when, thinking of New York and Broadway, when they were like, the movie house is going to close Broadway. We're all scared.
Oh, I'm
This is
sure,
the end.
yeah.
And Broadway is thriving.
Oh no, the
to
talkies.
The
Oh,
talkies,
they're gonna
yeah.
start the talkies.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because I don't know, because I mean, there's the crowd of people that supports those types of things for generations has usually been in an upper bracket. So like,
Well, that like movies or plays.
well,
or
even like
Broadway
classical music, because
shows. Yeah.
CDs, even like whenever I think about like how certain formats get more prevalent, like to me the story of like how CDs got more prominent is always a case where it literally like CDs became a format because people that listen to classical music were pushing for it as a medium, and like that's what pushed it into eventually becoming mainstream. But again, it was that whole thing of like people of a certain bracket were able to kind of keep it going long enough for it to become a thing. And I feel like theater is also one of those things where people in a certain bracket will keep it going kind of forever just to keep it, to keep it going. But yeah, I'm sure there was moments where there new formats of things come out and everybody panics. So I'm sure that was
as
definitely
things
something that
change.
happened.
But
Yeah.
I guess I'm kind of thinking about it as in bars and stuff because there's a whole. Well, number one, apparently Gen Z doesn't drink.
Yeah,
they,
not
they
really.
like to do other things. I don't know.
Inhalant.
I don't.
Glues?
Tide Pods. I don't know what they're into.
Did you
these
say Tide
days.
Pods?
Tide Pods.
Yeah.
Or maybe that was millennials. I don't know. I don't give a shit anymore, really. But like they don't drink. But then also they're. So I've noticed it's almost like they grew up being older, and it's like, having music and
Yeah, like they're
and
aging in reverse.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
louder shit is like loud. I can't even have a conversation.
This is too chaotic for me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's too much. And you're like,
I'm overstimulated.
Sensory
yeah, it's
overload.
like you're 23. You shouldn't shut the fuck up. I don't know.
Go get
If
If
stimulated.
your senses were ever meant to be overloaded,
Yeah,
it's then.
that's when you have. That's
Yeah.
when it happens. Like, do that.
Yeah.
You got plenty of time to get old and crusty and salty. Like, trust me, there's plenty of time for all that business.
And then there's that whole group who go to like EDM concerts and it's just like sensory overload.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or it's like, hey, let's just put headphones on and dance around in a field and look like a bunch of dumbasses listening to some unison music that's pumped through the headphone. That is like the weirdest like Black Mirror shit though.
Well, and
to
the
me for some reason.
And even the weirder thing is there's usually 3 DJs because those headphones you can pick which
which one you're
DJ you want to
listening to?
dance to.
Oh, and they're all dancing because it's all.
Yeah, but there's like 3 DJs up there and you can pick.
Do the
there's
DJs
nothing.
know what the other ones are doing, or are they
No,
on their-
they're
no?
just
That's
they're doing their
what-
thing.
Yeah.
Half the time, I'm convinced they don't even know what they're doing.
There's a skill to it.
I don't know.
Definitely a skill to it.
There's a skill to it. I get it. There is.
Because
but-
there are definitely people who are
But
bad.
there are
at it.
definitely like
Yes.
over accentuated hand motions. I think that's what aggravates me with some DJs.
Oh, you mean it looks like you're trying, like your
Yeah.
motions
Whoa!
indicate
I
that it's
flipped the
harder
switch.
than it is?
Yeah. Oh!
Yeah.
Flipped the switch. Those are
but
Italian DJs.
when I play guitar and I finish a big line, I do a
Yeah, but it just, I don't know. I was watching a thing the other night, and I was trying to be open-minded. I'm like, I don't get it. This guy's putting a lot of energy into hitting those buttons, and I'm like,
It's like the flailing of these hands. It's
yeah,
too much.
it was too much for me. I was hyper-focused on the fact that he was doing a lot of things that I didn't, number one, I wasn't hearing.
Well, okay,
it was
yeah.
over-accentuating
'Cause at least
the
with the guitar,
buttons.
you'll hear the.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, all right.
and
It's
half,
like,
but half the time they're doing whatever they're doing, it's in their headphones because they're prepping the next.
I know what was
thing.
happening. I get it. It's not like I don't understand what was happening. I'm not completely oblivious. I know he's setting this shit up so he can press that button
It's just
really
like
hard.
it's way too theatrical.
Yeah, so you
for
can
next
throw the
effort. It was
fader
just
and
like, it was just a lot. I
and the
don't know,
crowd
like,
goes, whoa.
it just might have caught me at the wrong time, and it aggravated the shit out of me. Like, this is just way too much hand flailing. Sorry to all you DJs that are listening to me after this.
Would you prefer them to go like this? Just be like button push.
I'd prefer
He's like,
them-
I want a Tony Iommi
I
DJ,
would
all right?
prefer them
Guy
to be
can't
playing
move an
guitar.
inch.
I'd prefer them that they're playing guitar. That's, I guess, my problem.
Well, come to the
I'm
crypt.
old
There's
and-
no. Well, on certain nights there's DJs, but when I'm there,
Yeah, I'm just old and salty, whatever.
rock and roll.
It's one of those things.
Well, no. I mean, I do get it because, yeah, like you said, the switch and the thing is doing the work. So,
Yeah.
like, yeah, it feels like you're riding the
I would
coattails
rather
of your
even see
gear.
that.
Yeah.
I would rather it almost be comical.
Yeah.
Like, comically ridiculous than
There's-
almost like I'm the coolest guy that flips a switch.
There's a really good Andy
Fuck outta
Samberg
here.
sketch where he's DJing. That SNL sketch, I'll have to send it to you
Because I don't know. It was.
because it's totally like
Yeah.
Most of the
gimmicky.
times,
And,
I don't care. I'm like, whatever. But I think that hit me in the right particular moment of me and some kind of aggravation for something, and I'm like, this fucking guy.
but that's what we're here for, right? To sell you guitars and
Yeah.
put pedals on your board and
Yeah.
notes into the air that you conjured from your own hands.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the,
By people who got it right the first time, seemingly.
oh, hey, what does that mean? Is that a segue? Oh my God, it's a segue.
You can't fall over on a Segway.
You could just fall forward. Can't fall over, but you can fall forward. Can you go over the top of a segue?
They said
sure
you
if you try
couldn't,
hard
and then a
enough.
few people, I think, didn't Bush biff it on a Segway?
Well, I
Somebody
was just
very
saying,
prominent.
If you can hurt yourself in a really terrible way, somebody will find a way to do it.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, there's reason they have.
Don't fall asleep while using a hairdryer. Like, you
Yeah,
know,
don't drink the soap.
Yeah.
I mean, they have warnings because
Somebody did it.
Watch your step.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which apparently I need to be filled in on that story. You can tell me later because nobody told me
Oh
what
no!
happened.
I thought we told you what happened.
No.
I had to finally buy a sticker and put up more signs.
Well, I surmised that much. But.
Yeah. The signs can't be large enough, apparently.
No. Well, no. There's a lot of people like going out of their way to not read anymore, which is really weird to me because it's literally just pattern recognition. It's like it's what we're supposed to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Terry says, it's Ike and the Salty Seniors. Thanks, Terry.
And the Salty Seniors just took a Segway right off the cliff, too.
All right. I'm going to start a band. Maybe that's what you should do is I should start a little parody thing at home, and I'll just start writing tunes, being pissy about everything.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's all right.
And then you can just be like, no, it's satire.
Right. And that way I don't have to fire myself.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Salt
Hey,
tire.
Rhodey's Jam Cave.
Oh yeah. Hey, Brody.
What's happening, man?
Oh, yeah, I guess we should do a disclaimer every now and again that these are our opinions, not the opinions of
yeah.
the store, and
Yeah,
do not reflect
yeah. Ike
the
said-
chaos
Ike-
that's in our
yeah.
brains.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, these are opinions on pedals and, guitars and such. Yeah. So.
Okay.
So the segue, which we didn't segue into.
Segue back down to Southern California.
Yeah, we need to segue back over to Fullerton Drive.
Fullerton Drive.
Oh yeah, brother.
Are we just gonna do Macho Man impressions for the whole set? That'd be
You had the Macho Man.
I know that's why I'm
Funko.
He's the best. Yeah.
No
Maybe that's the thing,
waggity,
you guys-
no braggity. Step into a Slim Jim.
Maybe you guys should start your Maris Mondays out that way. So
I would love
with an
to.
official,
Yeah.
with an official intro, so that you can make all.
Yeah, we make everybody happy.
make
We'll do a
everybody
Randy
happy
Macho
with-
Man Savage intro.
Yeah, make it as the most ridiculous intro ever,
Yeah.
so that way you can be like, "Hey, buddy, I still think you should put people's tags on there when they say some stupid shit. Be like, this is for you, pal."
Well, that's what. Yeah, we want to quote because like our very first comment was so boring,
Right.
And so
That's my
we
favorite.
still want that as like our first shirt.
And that's the way you should start the show out. I think personally.
Oh, I was-
is that you just put up everybody's shitty comment that hated that
Yes.
was hate, and be like, so boring. Yeah, the production value is trash. I waited forever to be bored.
I thought you were saying we should be introed like WWE stars.
We could do
That'd
it
be
that way,
sweet,
too.
too.
like weighing in at a
yeah.
155.
Yeah.
In the blue corner, yeah.
Weighing in, on
In the black
420
jacket.
Yeah, no, we could just do it with the weighing in on 426 with a so boring Jeffrey's Treehouse of Tea Leaves. Yeah, weighing in on
As we're walking in, like-
515. So unprofessional by Bob's, jerky treats.
Too weird.
Yeah,
No,
Guy
too
tried
weird,
it.
random dude in Boulder.
yeah, 615. Too weird from Barefoot Boulder.
Barefoot Boulder.
Where my brain went, I couldn't say it, so I was like, stop. Yeah. Anyway.
Okay.
But speaking of Boulder, Colorado, Leo Fender.
Yeah. I was like,
Yeah, I mean, he went to school there, right? He went to there's the Leo Fender School of Engineering in Boulder.
Speaking of boulders, I remember the time I hit a rock with my Fender.
Hey, that's a good one.
So Fender. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, I guess so. The legacy.
There was
of-
actually some funny story about, I can't remember that. Somebody, it had to do with the chroming when they first started getting like the chroming done on the hardware for Fenders. Mm-hmm. The guy ran in and said something, we got to do something with these Fenders. And so like the production guy at the time was like, what's wrong with my Fender? And he kept going, he was like, no, like the guitars,
the
we got,
the actual Fender.
Yeah. But anyway, we basically
Who was the
just,
offender of that Fender? Sorry.
yeah,
Oh, the O Fender.
the O Fender.
The offender.
The
Yeah,
Leo Fender.
Leonidas.
Yeah, I didn't know that was his first name.
It's Leonidas Fenderius.
It's
Big.
Clarence Leonidas Fender.
If he was Roman,
yeah,
Leonidas.
Fenderius.
Yeah, Leo.
Leonidas Fenderius.
Fenderius Octavius.
Severus.
Yeah, Octavius Stringus.
Joined us August 10th, 1909. Left us March 21st, 1991. He went real far, apparently, from Anaheim to Fullerton.
Yeah.
Real far.
Wow, I actually didn't know that he was born in that. Wow,
In
I
Anaheim.
really didn't know that.
Like a lot of musical things, he was born in Anaheim.
Yeah, that's
Like
kinda
the NAMM
interesting,
show,
though.
I guess.
Yeah. Well, no, but just period. Like there are a lot of companies actually that started out there, but that is interesting. I didn't know that he was directly from there. That's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, because he started out with doing repairs and stuff like that. That's how a lot of that.
Well, and he was an engineer and did
beginning-
not play, as far as I
He
know,
didn't.
right?
No, he
Yeah,
didn't play.
it was radio repair that he was doing.
And then, that's where the amp side of things came in too.
Which, yeah, I think all those dudes, especially from his time period, because I bet you it was kind of similar to Steve, where Steve's not as old as Fender, obviously, but you start working on like PA stuff and things that were
Yeah, it
around
just
at the time,
progresses
and
into-
eventually it progresses to amplifiers, and yeah,
You move on to more fun things.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because he's interesting. I always, or at least the sense that I get, I didn't know Fender, obviously. He would have been guess he would have died 1 year after I was born. I always got the impression that he seemed very frustrated by, like, he was thinking of things with longevity in mind, while the companies he was often dealing with were just focused on the short term. Because, like, most of his designs were intended to just get the ball rolling. Like, they weren't intended to be the thing that it was going to be forever. Because, like Fender, like, when I think of that, like, the Jazzmaster Bridge, the saddles on like Mustangs and like things like all of those things were never things he wanted to keep. They were just, it did the job. It was what they had at the time. And that's where, G&L obviously kind of comes in and fixes a lot of those things. But I guess I get the impression that he seems like a very frustrated person.
I heard
like
it
most
it was a bit difficult too.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's plenty of articles out there. We're not going to be like uncovering the secrets of Fender. Nah. Yeah, we opened up these Mason files with Leo Fender.
Well, I mean, most engineers though are like
They're very detailed.
Well, they're forward thinking most of the time. Like they're thinking about the next thing, not the thing that they're currently on. Like most of them, not all of them. Most of them want to improve. And so the fact that
fixing a problem.
Yeah, that he constantly got stuck with the people that were like, no, you have to do it exactly like the very first one forever. Like that would be a really annoying thing as an engineer. Like,
which is crazy because just yesterday the same guitar from Fender came out in the 50s.
Yeah, exactly. And they will keep doing that.
And they'll keep doing it because that's you're basically spoon feeding the purists, and the purists' kids at this point. You know what I mean? Like, so Fender came out with the Road Worn series.
Yep,
Road
the
Worn,
Ventera 2.
right? And we have some on the way, by the way. Just so you know,
We have some on the way.
we got 2 of the Tellys, and I think 2 of the butterscotch or the yellow Tellys, and then 1 of the Daphne or Sonic Blue. Rosewood Strats.
That one actually looks nice. Yeah.
Well, Goots was like, "Hey, you getting any of these in?" I'm like, "I'll get the Tellys in," and I put the Strat I like too, and I was like, "All right, those will sell because those are colors that always move." They're a little spendy,
Yeah, 1600 kind of blew me away, to be honest, when Jacob and I were looking at them earlier.
Well, my default answer is always like, "I'll take one home."
I really like those guitars because of the nitro finish. I
think that was a smart move on their part.
When I got my first real guitar, it was a '89 Fender Stratocaster, and I was like, I'm gonna wear this thing out.
Nope.
And that had the hardest poly finish you've ever seen. It looks brand new today.
So does mine.
Yeah.
I have an '89 that I bought it wasn't new. It was very minimally used. I bought it in '89 or '90, early '90. But yeah,
I was like,
it looks fine. There's a few little spots where I might have.
There's barely even surface scratches on mine, and I play hard. I bought that PRS that has no top coat on it. There are like significant gouges in the top.
Yeah, and that Strat of mine, I played that for years. I mean, that was the only guitar I had for years, and there was a lot of years that I traveled around and moved, and it was, it wasn't until I kind of settled that I started all of a sudden collecting. Well, I wouldn't say collecting, but acquiring more guitars.
It was like cataloging. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Now I have too many, but I mean that one's the only one I had for almost 20 years. Was that and maybe one other one, and then once I got a Telly, that was the end of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I think the nitro. Well, because like I was telling you earlier when we were talking about that, we had a customer come in not too long ago, and I was kind of having to explain to him like the difference between poly and nitro in terms of because the nitro stuff like we said is not it's not the easiest thing to work with. Mainly because of health reasons, so a lot of companies just completely stopped or do it in very limited runs or limited releases. But I mean, these days, like even in the used market, to touch a guitar with nitro on it, like it's generally, $1,000 and up. Not always. There's a few exceptions to that, but most of the time it's coming at a premium. And I do think it is interesting because like nitro really is one of those things that like it's weird because like I actually feel like poly, like if you're just buying something to do a job, I think poly is a better way to go because like it stays cleaner. You don't have to clean it nearly as often. It doesn't get all gunky. It doesn't like there's a lot of pros to it, but
totally.
It's not as it's definitely not as cool that it doesn't age naturally or gracefully like a nitro does. So
well, I think that's where the mystique and that's where the you know,
The allure.
yeah, the allure is that, you know, the thing, it's going to change color, it's going to fade, it's going to have checking, it's going to wear. You know, I mean, look at for the last 10 or 15 years, well, 10 years at least, with the relic shit.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody doing these relic things.
The whole
And
Murphy lab is a thing.
Yeah, it's just because people want to look like they've actually played it.
But
You
I
know.
want to do my own.
Right. So, but there's a certain amount of people that would like to have that. Like, yeah, I want. Then you also have the wood breathability conversation. But with nitro finish, it's like, yeah, you can wear that in. Because it is kind of cool. Like, if you play a guitar a lot, like my original Telly, all that paint, because it must have been a shit paint job, a lot of it wore off. It's down to, like, almost the.
It literally is almost down to like the first coat.
Yeah, down to the first coat, because I
Yeah.
played that. I mean, once I got that Telly, I played the shit out of that thing. And all that, and I don't know why. I think it was a bad paint job, because it should have been just like, you know, a hard candy shell like poly. It was just a regular production made in Mexico Telecaster. But yeah, I think people being able to wear in a guitar, there's an attractiveness to that. I would like that too.
Like Stevie Ray Vaughan's guitar is the one that always comes to mind of like, oh, I wanted to do that to a guitar.
Or you think of
Well, to me, like, I mean, I know Isaiah Mitchell's not as known as Stevie, but like when I look at his guitar, it's one of those things like seeing where it started and where it is now. It's like it's an incredible. Like he literally, so it was completely blue, like from top. You know, the whole body was top to bottom blue, and now there's only like a little bit of blue on the inside of the horns.
And which band?
Earthless,
Earthless.
which we hopefully potential shop outing next month. We'll see. But yeah, he's one of those ones where like when I saw his guitar, or even Greenie. Like to me, Greenie's one of those guitars. Like when you look
Rory-
at the wear on Greenie, it's like that
Rory
is just
Gallagher?
the coolest. Yeah,
Rory
yeah,
Gallagher's
that
another
one
one.
actually. You're right. Yeah,
yeah, that's
Rory's is like
Rory's is incredible.
Rory-
Actually,
Yeah.
yeah.
which is cool. I think it's cool personally. I don't necessarily want to buy it that way unless it's already
Happened.
happened. Like
Naturally.
it's used guitar
Yeah, yeah.
and it's worn. That would be cool. But to buy one that's already, and we're gonna go round and round. Everybody's talked about this bullshit for years, but sorry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I think the new road worn ones, they're like we didn't wear spots out. It's just lightly. It's almost like a light.
It's like they started the
lighter
the-
finish,
Yeah,
yeah.
they started the end or they started the wear for you, but they didn't necessarily wipe it out.
And it seemed like the wear they did was kind of on the hardware, the neck.
Yeah, it was
That's
in
like where it
certain
was like
spots.
focused, yeah. But the finish was years to
wear.
yeah,
Yeah.
which is cool. And I mean that depends. Like, you know, yeah, it's $1,600, but how much is that part of it worth for you down the line? I mean, that's a personal decision, but it's an interesting question of like how much is that part of it worth? Because that's the thing. Like even with my Explorer, like that's the only one I've had that's nitro that I've put enough time on that there's like irreversible, you know, marks in the finish now, just where I've literally just worn off and I've almost worn through the paint, which is, you know, to me, like it's cool. Like I know that I did that. I know exactly what that guitar looks like because of where I wore it. But it is one of those things. Like I guess I sort of have a problem with the relicking thing. Like I get the idea, because you like the look, but I think it's because I think it's one of those things like people want, like you said, like the allure of it's there. People want that. They can't necessarily go buy a vintage one, so that's about as good as it gets. If you're
But you
trying
could
to
buy a nitro finish guitar and then
Yeah.
just do it yourself instead of.
right.
But like that Mike McCready
Yeah, I
that,
think
that
it's
had
cool
the
as
wear.
shit.
It was, but like the wear was top coated in poly. It seemed like so it wasn't going to
Yeah,
change
I mean,
from that
the
thing.
look.
Yeah, it's like it was
Right.
like it was almost like a screenshot of a guitar that you're gonna play.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it looked cool because it was worn in. I like cool looking worn in guitars, but
It wasn't going to wear anymore.
Right.
no, that you kind of got what you got.
Yeah.
Because any guitar that you've kind of, played enough where you wear that, spot where your pinky and kind of wear it, like, I don't know. I think it's always cool. Or you take a chunk out of it. It looks cool because it's got a story.
Yeah.
You know?
I took a chunk out of my ceiling the other day.
There you go.
Speaking of chunks, I took the guitar off and went boom.
Oh yeah, that always sucks.
So you got to. Where's that? There's a question in there for you. Do you know that?
Well, no, there's a lot going into that, and it's not necessarily on subject. I mean, I'm not opposed to getting into that one, but there's a lot more going on for that than just a chorus pedal.
Okay.
It used a B3, right?
Used a lot of things. Yeah, I mean, there's just the rhythm track on that's like quad tracked, if not more, with multiple things. Like, it's a lot going on for that sound.
And Dylan's referring to the Black Hole
Yeah.
Sun chorus tone.
I was just say, yeah, if you're watching Monday, give us that question. That's something that we could get into then, maybe.
Yeah,
And-
'cause you guys would be playing.
And I don't know enough about Epiphones to know.
Yeah, that one actually. Yeah, let's
Go look.
wake up, mouse. All right.
But yeah, and then Eric has a good point. You know, new looking guitars forever
Oh.
is a thing. And, you know, that 89 American Standard Strat that I have, it does look brand new.
Yeah, mine looks pretty solid as well.
And I know my, 2001 American Standard Telly will look exactly the same 30 years out.
That's a cool looking guitar.
So someone was asking about the Epiphone Les Paul Special double cut.
Yeah, the reissue, which
In TV yellow. It would say if it was a nitro.
And do you guys know the TV yellow story?
Sorry.
Was it to look black and white on TV?
no, it was actually to stop them from disappearing.
Yeah.
That was the issue.
Disappearing.
So yeah, with the way that the initial setup for black and white television at the time, the contrast values would end up making a lot of black guitars or white guitars completely disappear.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, it would or
We need
visually
to-
like
yeah.
it would look like it. Would
We
almost
need
like,
to figure out how to do that.
Yeah, it does actually look really cool. I've seen it, but like it basically kind of it's almost like a reverse lens flare. And so they ended up making TV yellow so that there was enough contrast fight with the guitar itself that it wouldn't do that. And I
Nice.
can't remember. Wasn't there a story specifically of what there was a particular band that went on TV and that was what caused the issue, and that was what I can't remember that part of the
I'm
story.
trying to remember that as well, and I don't.
Was it Spinal Tap?
Yeah.
Oh, I heard the 111K pickup today.
Like for real?
Yeah. Fluff
that a
has a
real
video. Yeah.
Oh.
It's
Does it sound like fluff?
It sounds like, yeah, I mean, it just sounds like 3 stacked overdrives.
Oh, well, I imagine. I mean, it's probably like having 2 boosts, like basically built into your pickup. So,
Yep.
you know, it's kind of weird. Do you guys see anything that said finish as I was going through here? I mean, other than the.
I didn't see anything that said
Yeah.
nitro. So,
Anyway, back to the Fender stuff, I guess. But, or unless you, what were you getting ready
so
to
how
say?
long
Vintage
did-
gloss.
How long vintage gloss?
Whatever that
but-
means.
Gloss, I usually think
Yeah.
poly, but it says vintage gloss, so who knows?
It's poly, but it's tinted.
It's weak poly.
So how long did I wonder when was the break from like Fender and Gibson from
Oh, like how quickly did that happen?
nitro to poly? Like,
Well, because I was gonna say, I guess I assumed that the switch at Fender didn't happen until Leo left. So I guess I assumed that the switch with Fenders, because like the Fender switch was pretty early, so I thought it was like, I don't know, 67, 68, because I thought that was why, and the audience can correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I thought that was why certain collectors go with things from like 67 to 65, because you kind of get a lot of what you would have gotten from a pre-65, but it's not as expensive. And then after
Right.
67 is when it went to poly, because it was more sustainable, less hazardous for the workers. So
Yeah, I just
like I said, I
didn't
might
know-
be wrong about that, but I thought that was my understanding of kind of how that played out. Gibson still uses nitro though, don't they? On all
I
the
think pretty much
I,
exclusively, yeah.
I don't know enough about Gibson.
But they do a like hard nitro that doesn't seem to like wear, but it cracks.
well, yeah, I would say
does that, like,
certain
finish
ones.
checking thing.
Yeah, because I would say it kind of depends on the thing. Because like, now granted, my Explorer is from the mid '90s, But that one, like I expected checking, and it never really did start checking. But it's got that kind of frosty, you know how like nitro when it loses the shine, it kind of gets that frosty look. That's kind of where mine's ended up.
Mm-hmm. I didn't realize my Epiphone Les Paul was nitro until one day I took it somewhere and brought it back, and it was all cracked.
Oh,
Did you leave it in the car?
It was like a cold, like super cold day.
oh, interesting, huh?
And I was like,
I mean, that's how
and
they
I
do
looked
some
at
of
it.
the relicing too, is they put
and I
the
was like,
thing in the freezer.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. They'll hair dry it like with a, and then stick it in the freezer.
So Rhodey's Jam Cave said, I got one and it's got a smell to it.
Like
Oh, the Epiphone Les Paul special that he was talking about. Okay.
like
Where'd you get it?
like a good smell
Like, where'd you get it?
or a bad smell?
And was it new or used? Because if it's a used
what does it
smell,
smell of?
if it's a used smell, that's a different thing.
If it smells like
new
cigarettes,
smells are
it's
different. yeah.
probably not. If it smells like cigarettes, it may not be authentic. Playing authentic. I remember once I bought a Strat from a dude, and I walked in his house, and it was like
Oh yeah.
the smell of smoke like hit me like a brick, and I still was smoking it myself at the time.
That's
You're
when
like,
you know
wow,
it's
yeah.
bad.
And I sat there and I shot the shit. He was a cool guy, and I ended up buying an Epiphone 5-watt head from him for like $40 or something like that. And I had to take that fucking guitar apart to clean it, to resell it. In the case, I literally had it sitting on my back patio for 3 months before the smell went away.
Damn.
And I was hitting it with Lysol and I think it was kitty litter, which was the thing that actually took the last bit of the smell out of it. So there you go, kids. If you need to get a stink out of a case, throw some kitty litter in it and close it.
Kitty litter and ozone.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's around when I got the ozone generator too. But yeah, and then I remember that Epiphone amp was cool, but I mean, it stunk. You couldn't walk by it without stupid things smelling like an ashtray. And I'm like, I got to get rid of this fucking thing. Yeah, it was terrible. Anyway,
There's another nice thing about wearing in your own Fender. It'll be your stink, your cigarette smell, your marijuana.
well, yeah, I guess.
Well, yeah.
What kind of stink are you putting on your Fender?
Finger stink,
What stink is going on here? What kind of stink you got?
pepper stink.
Yeah, Pueblo pepper stink. Don't worry about me. I got raspberry stink.
I got that skunky.
Well, I mean, I'm sure
Yeah.
if you're like do the patchouli burning, and it sits in the room with all the patchoulis and such, then you can get very.
That or if you happen to like roll, a couple shrubbery sticks and.
And let it just marinate in
Yeah.
that for a while. I'm sure. Cigarette smoke though,
That lingers and
that
sticks.
just sticks to.
Yeah.
That just stays.
Well, and actually, there is an argument.
Yeah.
It does get stuck in nitro, so like that is a thing. Like the cigarette stink, like that's something that doesn't necessarily happen with polyurethane as much, or at least that I've noticed. It feels like you can recover from that. Whereas like I've smelled guitars from dudes that smoke that like the old school, nitro ones, and you never get rid of that.
And some people just play so stanky they just leave the finger funk.
Yes.
Oh yeah, finger funk is a normal. That's a thing.
Darrell Finger Funk Johnson.
Oh yeah, Eric said he had to sell a twin reverb because of cigar smoke. It was gross. Some of that shit just
It sticks to it.
sticks to it.
Well, especially a cigar, yeah, because that sounds like you put it in a tar pit. So
Yeah, cigars. Yeah, that's rough. I mean, you got to smoke a lot of. I mean, where is this amp? The cigar. I'm just trying to picture the scenario.
yeah,
This-
yeah.
Right. The cigar smoking, guitar
Oh,
player.
maybe that's a thing we can like reverse on blues lawyers. It's like, hey, are you a cigar smoker? You look like a cigar smoker.
That's why it could happen.
Yeah, like that's like instead of because like it's always them being like, oh, is this from a smoke-free environment? It's like, well, you
Yeah.
tell me, cigar man.
Be like, listen. See, all the cool kids want the one that smells like cigar.
Yeah. Yeah. The vomit-inducing guitars are always the best ones.
Yeah, hey, these ones.
Those are high class.
But they want the ones with the cigarette burns, but not the
Stink.
not the smell.
That's a good point. Like, how stinky were Van Halen's guitars?
Oh, they had
Oh, probably terrible.
Oh, I'm sure.
terrible. But you got to remember back in the day, everybody smoked, so everything kind of had a
It's
smoke
like,
smell.
you may not know this. Nobody could actually smell back then.
They
Smell was
couldn't-
only invented in
they couldn't.
1989. So
Right. They couldn't, because everything smelled like smoke.
yeah.
Because everybody smelled like I remember when I was a kid, going into people's houses and you'd walk in and it would smell like smoke because most people smoked.
Built-in memory is full.
You know, what? Not mine.
Mine might be.
My built-in memory is empty as fuck. I try to dump that shit out every night.
He's like, I clear that cache every night.
Download. Yeah. Let's clear this off. Start over again, please, tomorrow. And fresh. Anyway, I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
even
we
know
kind
if
of
even
got off
talked
a little
about
bit
any
off
of that
subject.
shit.
But I was just say, yeah. So Leo, obviously, not that we're gonna really recover this,
Right.
but
Leo smoke. See,
He probably did.
actually, that's a good point.
probably
Yeah, he
did.
probably did. But yeah, as far as I know, like I said, he ended up through various pressures. Obviously, he ended up leaving in '65. Was it '65 proper, or was it '64 that he actually leaves?
I don't remember the.
Well, actually, I don't even know if he left or was kicked out, because like I always
I
got the
think
impression
he
that he
was
was kind of kicked out.
Pushed out, yeah.
So then he ends up starting Music Man, and that would have been, I don't know exactly what
79.
year. No, because that's GNL 79.
Oh, GNL
yeah.
79.
Yeah, so I know that, and I know
But he was only
70?
in the. Ernie Ball was early though, right? Like mid 70s.
Well, if I remember right, the idea was like he was sort of pitched, similar to GNL, he was sort of pitched about doing another company. That became Music Man. The amps were what really took off at the time, because even Clapton was playing Music Man amps at the time.
Every time
that was
you
a
get them
big,
through there, they sound great.
yeah. And so that was like where the big thing went. And then I can't remember, he dropped off of that, I want to say in like 70, somewhere between 75 and 77 is when he kind of went on hiatus with that. And that was when George Fullerton essentially approached him about doing GNL. And more or less, as far as I understand it, the approach was like, hey, what if we set you up with a factory to your spec in an area that you want it to be, exactly the way you want it? We'll do any design changes you want to do, and would you come back if we do those things? And he's like, okay, yeah, I'll do that. Because from what I understand with Music Man, it was kind of, he was constantly compromising what he wanted versus what they needed.
He was more
Yeah.
of a consultant for them.
Yes, yeah.
As it
Yeah.
looks like. And it was 1971 when the original people from Music Man got together
Okay.
and then got him involved from there.
Yeah. Yeah, because I don't think he had any input on their guitars, right? Was it just the amps? Because were they even making instruments then? I'm not as versed
I
with
don't-
Music Man, to be honest. So
I don't know. To be honest,
yeah.
me neither. So I don't really know.
yeah.
That's where we need some show prep.
It sounds like he worked on the Stingray.
Oh, okay.
Well, that makes sense though. Thinking about what they did at GNL afterwards. So that
Actually, it does
make-
like the Kiloton,
Yeah.
those styles of basses. Yeah.
But I mean, the stuff he did at GNL was great though, with the MFD pickups and all that kind of stuff, different wirings and.
Well, yeah,
I
and
mean,
from
all solid.
again, kind of what I remember of how his time with GNL went was there were a lot of designs he was basically sitting on from his time at Fender that he wanted to implement and never really had the option to. So when GNL got going, he was basically able to revise the Strat bridge. He was able to revise the Tele bridge. That's where we got like those high mass, the ASAT special bridges.
Which I think are great.
yeah.
Comfortable too.
Yeah.
Very comfortable.
That was where we got like because even the Doheny, that was actually one that they sort of shelved for a long time, but that was still one of his designs of like redoing the Jazz Master. And it is funny because like dudes like Gordo to me are like why the Doheny was kind of made. Like guys that want to use Jazz Masters, but they don't want all the issues that they had.
Right.
Because like Doheny is
that's fixed.
yeah, it's like all the issues are gone basically, and that's what a Doheny is more or less. And so, to me, like G&L is kind of the the final evolution of Fender more or less.
Well, even the
they don't
Strat
get
bridges are arguably better.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean the dual fulcrum. I mean,
And at the G&L factory, his final desk is still intact, and you can go visit it and see
yeah.
what he
there's
was
a
working
bunch of-
on. And
Well, I feel like G&L cared more about like him and his ideas, or at least that's the impression. Whereas it feels like at Fender, what happened?
What's going
All right,
on?
give me 1 second.
oh yeah, Fender. It felt like that was a financial move for CBS, and that was that. They didn't really care.
Uh-oh. Canon HD system.
We'll be right back with you visually.
Yeah, something's going. Oh, look. Hey, there's my girlfriend and some kid.
And her,
Yeah, some kid.
she
You
found
know, she found. Yeah,
at the park.
you know, it was cool. They were taking pictures and stuff. They're nice people.
Gina.
Yeah, yeah. All right. So what? Anyway.
And
Brian-
so G&L was like his. I'm sure they listened to him fully, since Fullerton gave him the reins to do what he
Yeah.
wanted.
Well,
Well,
I mean,
because George too, from what I understand, was more sympathetic to Leo because he was also an engineer for Fender while Leo was there, and from what I understand, like he was sympathetic to like the issues that Leo was having with the other, or I don't know what they would have been. I don't know if they had a board back then, but more or less the guys that would have had the controlling
Well, they
stake
would have
at
had-
the time. Yeah,
it would have been a board.
yeah.
I mean,
So
it's a corporation.
yeah.
That's how that shit works.
But yeah, I imagine that was like, it seems like George could be like, okay, I understand what you went through there. Let's do this and make sure
try
you don't go
something
through that.
different.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it looks like we're right about there. So we good? Any final thoughts on whatever it was that we?
I guess
about?
to summarize his legacy, I mean, you could almost argue half, if not more, of the instrument market has his input.
Has his fingerprints on
Yeah,
it.
because I would say, I mean, like
Yeah.
almost all, like we've talked about this before, almost all the bases from everybody, from every company ever is taken on, is a take on a Fender bass. Like
But
it's,
a lot of things
yeah.
are based off of a Telecaster, a Stratocaster, a
Yeah.
Jazzmaster. I
Yeah.
mean,
And then in the bass is jazz bass, precision bass.
But yeah, it's like almost every bass of every company everywhere is pulled from a Fender bass.
I was talking to Eric about this earlier in the Sadowski basses and how they look like jazz P, like
Oh, yeah.
hybrid thing. He even said, or someone asked him why he makes those style basses, and he said, no one would buy anything else. I tried other things. This is what they want.
Yeah, I mean that's one of those ones like
that's
it's
why they still make. I mean,
Yeah.
how many freaking tellies are you gonna make?
Well, I
They've been
think the
making them
bass though
since
is
the
an
50s.
example of like it's one of those ones like I think people when they think of a bass, I mean the same thing with like tellies and strats too. But I think for a lot of people when they think of a bass, they immediately think of a double horned offset body like a Fender. 'Cause, like
yeah. Oh, yeah.
even if it's a Rickenbacker, it still has the curves and the proportions going back to a Fender. So whereas like the guitar side of things, Gibson obviously I would say has been the other one that has like that dominant kind of feature set in terms of the guitar genetics. But I would Fender's one of those ones like I feel like the bass market's the one that they really affected. In addition obviously to amps. I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
like
they're
the entire
huge impact.
beginning, yeah. So I mean it's kind of hard to
It's amazing that he got it right out of the gate, too.
Wow.
Well, and I think that shows like a engineer listening to musicians. Like that's
Yeah.
what you're gonna get, rather than a designer going with like, "Hey, this is what I want it to be," which is fine. But like having an engineer being like, "Hey, you're actually using this thing that I'm making. What do you think about it?" And then following that down the line, because it's like working with Dick Dale and a lot of those dudes in those early, in the 50s. It's like that's where a lot of those things were kind of ground tested. Was literally getting it out there on a stage with Dick Dale roaring, and like that's how they kind of field tested that stuff. So,
well, which was smart.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we got to wrap it up. It's a little after 5. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us today, and we'll catch you guys
On the
on the
flip
flip
side.
side.
Ba, 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 da.
Bye.